Imagine a path where every step follows the echo of steam trains, where iron rails once cut through the countryside, now replaced by birdsong, open skies, and quiet footsteps. Welcome to the Wirral Way, one of the most peaceful and historically rich walking routes in the northwest of England. In this video, we're going to explore the full story of the Wirral Way, from its origins as a Victorian railway line to its transformation into Britain's very first country park, and finally to the beautiful 12-mile walking and cycling trail that people enjoy today. We'll also guide you along part of the route itself, where it starts in Hooton, where it ends, or at least where we ended, and what you can expect to see along the way. So whether you're planning a walk or just curious about the history beneath your feet, let's begin. To understand the Wirral Way, we have to go back to the age of railways. In the 19th century, Britain was in the middle of a railway boom. Lines were being built across the country, connecting towns, industries, and coastal destinations. One of these lines was the Hooton to West Kirby Railway, a joint railway built by the LNWR and the Great Western Railway. This railway ran across the Wirral Peninsula, linking inland communities like Hooton with coastal towns such as West Kirby. It wasn't just about transport, it was about access to jobs, to trade, and importantly, to leisure. West Kirby in particular became a popular destination. People travelled there for fresh air, coastal views, and a break from the growing industrial cities nearby. It had a beach. You could buy an ice cream. Even my parents took me there as a small child. For decades, trains ran along this line, carrying passengers and goods across the peninsula. The route cut through farmland, skirted the Dee estuary, and passed through villages that were much quieter than they are today. But like many small railway lines in Britain, its fortunes began to change in the mid-20th century. By the mid-1950s and early 1960s, rail travel was declining in certain areas. Passenger traffic on this line ended in 1956. Cars were becoming more common, roads were improving, and many rural or less profitable railway lines were struggling to justify their costs. The Hooton to West Kirby line was one of them. In 1962, even the freight traffic couldn't justify the line, and the railway was officially closed. The trains stopped running, the tracks were left unused, and what had once been a busy transport route became a quiet, abandoned corridor stretching across the Wirral. At this point, many former railway lines across the UK were simply left to decay or were removed entirely for scrap. But something different happened here. In the 1970s, there was a growing awareness of the importance of green spaces, especially near urban areas. Instead of letting the old railway disappear, local authorities saw an opportunity. What if this disused line could be transformed into something for the public? Something that preserved nature, encouraged outdoor activity, and remained accessible to everyone. And so, in 1973, the Wirral Country Park was officially opened. It was a groundbreaking moment because it became Britain's very first designated country park. At the heart of this park was the former railway line, now repurposed as a walking and cycling route. This route became known as the Wirral Way. Instead of trains, it welcomed walkers, cyclists, families, and nature lovers. The same gentle gradients that once made it ideal for trains now made it perfect for people of all abilities to enjoy. Today, the Wirral Way stretches for around 12 to 13 miles. That's roughly 20 kilometres. It runs from Hooton in the southeast to West Kirby in the northwest. Let's take a journey along that route from Hooton. We start off in this wooded section alongside the Wirral line, which at this point is departing for Chester. So we're heading Chester way a little bit and then we're going to swing to the right. And here we are at our first station. Hadlow Road. But time waits for no scooter. And from Hadlow Road we push on. So a nice place to stop over on your walk. Right, let's press on. It is delightful. And here we come to our first level crossing. With some nice horse poop on the path. I think I'll bypass that. Right, let's have a look. Is it clear? Yes, it is. Oh, this is interesting. Do I want to go that way? Cycle path, yes. We'll go the cycle path.
That's a smart buggy.
It's not bad.
I'll fight you for it.
You'll win.
It's a cracker, that, isn't it?
It is. It's sort of like an off-road one.
Yeah.
And
Some of these others are fucking dangerous, aren't they?
yeah. Well, this thing,
yeah.
I held out for it because this is me.
Yeah.
Right. I used to do what you're doing.
Yeah.
And it's
can't you walk about like us now?
I've got MS, so I can walk for about
yeah,
10 minutes, and then I'm done in for the day.
Yeah.
So this allows me to do this, and it's got suspension, and you know it's designed to be a sort of an off-road one, and it just allows me the freedom.
Very stable as well.
Yes.
Those others that were little tiny wheels.
Yeah.
They're old fellas.
Exactly.
It doesn't mind any muckies falling over, you know. That kind
Yeah.
of thing.
Well, I better carry on. Right. See ya. Cheers. That is the joy of this thing. It always has a nice conversation. Right, so let's carry on to our next station. Right, we're a bit beyond Parkgate now, and there's a bit of a clearing in the trees. So, as promised, I'm sending the drone up. To the right is Heswell Golf Course, and to the left is Heswell Golf Course, which seems to straddle the Wirral Way. But as you can see, the Wirral is pretty flat. But to our left, I will get there, I promise, is the River Dee. Now, as far as the eye can see, there is now what's, I suppose, salt marsh. There's a gas power station further up the Dee, and within my lifetime some idiot thought it'd be a good idea to plant the grass to reclaim some of the silted up land by the power station, and now it has stretched right down to Parkgate. Over there, the hills you can see are Wales, and there's a little tiny slither of what was once a navigable River Dee. Here we go. We're zooming in a little bit. You can see a little bit more of the salt marshes, and beyond that, that little strip of water is the River Dee, and on the other side is Wales. It's quite a clear day. If it was completely clear, that means there's rain between us and Wales, because all the humidity is taken up by the rain. Now, this area, Parkgate, was important to the railway back in the day, because a lot of agricultural land around here, as I mentioned, the aforementioned sheep, there's a lot of vegetables grown, asparagus, radishes, cabbage. So this is pretty plentiful land, and the railway did pick up a lot of goods from the farmers to go both ways on the Wirral from Parkgate Station. So that's the history of this area. And before that, Parkgate was an ancient port. But I'll come back to Parkgate. Right, back to the Wirral Way, and as you can see, there's plenty of cyclists and walkers along here. Golfists to the left, golfists to the right. And right down below the drone is a little me. We have 65% battery, and we're at Riverbank Road, which if you look at the exploded diagram there, that's where we are. Heading northeast, the trail passes through Caldy and Thurston. This section is often considered the most scenic. You'll find elevated viewpoints overlooking the Dee estuary with sweeping views that change with the tides. On clear days you can see across to the Welsh hills. There's also wooded sections here, offering shade and a sense of calm, a contrast to the open coastal stretches. Thurston Common nearby adds even more walking options if you want to explore beyond the main path. And so we push on to West Kirby. This coastal town sits on the edge of the Dee estuary, with wide views across to North Wales. It's the perfect place to stop, have an ice cream, dip your toes in the water, and let the sand into your toes as well. There's also a modern feature, a boating lake, where people can try their hand at windsurfing and small boats, and you can learn how to sail, you can get tuition, and you can also practice. So that's the Wirral Way. So what makes the Wirral Way stand out? Well, first, it's history. You're not just walking a path, you're following the exact route of a former railway. The gentle curves, the cuttings, the embankments, they're all still there. Second, it's accessibility. Because it was built for trains, the gradient is very gentle. That means it's suitable for walkers, cyclists, families with children, and even those looking for a more relaxed outdoor experience. Even mobility scooters can handle this route. And third, it's variety. In just 12 miles you experience the coastal views, woodland, farmland, and open estuary landscapes. And finally, its sense of calm. Despite being relatively close to urban areas, much of the route feels peaceful and removed from busy roads. The Wirral Way isn't just a path, it's also a habitat. Over the years, nature has reclaimed the old railway corridor. Trees, wildflowers, and grasses now line the route. Birds nest in the hedgerows, insects thrive in the vegetation, and nearby estuary supports a wide range of wildlife. In a way, the transformation of the Wirral Way mirrors a broader shift from industrial use to environmental appreciation. If you're thinking of walking the Wirral Way, there's a few things to keep in mind. You don't have to do the entire route in one go, just as we did. We stopped as far as Caldy and Pensby. Many people choose shorter sections, starting and finishing at different access points along the way. Because it connects to towns and transport links, it's easy to plan a flexible route. The surface is generally well maintained, making it suitable for most footwear, although comfortable walking shoes are always a good idea. And because it's shared with cyclists and some horse riders and, in my case, a mobility scooter, it's worth staying aware of other users using the path. The Wirral Way is more than just a walking trail. It's a story of change, adaptation, and how landscapes evolve over time. From the sound of steam engines to decades of silence, to the footsteps and conversations of people enjoying the outdoors today. It is a reminder that even disused spaces can find new purpose. And sometimes the best journeys are the ones that follow the paths of the past. So next time you're on the Wirral, why not take a walk along the Wirral Way and experience that journey for yourself? If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe and share. And please let me know in the comments, have you walked the Wirral Way or is it now on your list? Thanks for watching and I'll see you in the next one.